Okay, guys, Kevin here. Welcome to this video. We are going to just go briefly over the top level stuff on Facebook ads and how you can understand all this. So the first thing is just how the ad account and campaigns work and how they're structured. So campaign structure here on the left. And then we're going to talk about naming conventions. And this is something that everybody always thinks is really boring and dumb. But trust me, it is one of the most important things in success when it comes to running ads on Facebook, Google, any platform. So the campaign structure is very simple. There are three main categories in the structuring of a successful ad or of any ad for that matter. The top level is campaigns. And then underneath campaigns, you have, and in campaigns, you generally just cover broad things like the objective of the campaign, whether it's video views, engagement, conversions, etc. So you have those on the top level, and so your choices are your things that you select at that level are very broad. And then the next level down is ad sets. And each ad set is like a specific part of the campaign that is divided up by, generally, the way we do it is by the audience that you're advertising to. And the reason that you want to separate these out is because you want to know which audiences convert for your message versus the other ones. And so, like, for instance, if you were advertising something and you had like three audiences like Brendan Burchard, Frank Kern, and Tony Robbins, or say Amy Porterfield, so that I'm inclusive of women here. It could be that your offer is perfectly aligned with all three of those people, but for some reason the audience that they've built, maybe all three convert, but at different levels. And so you're able to find that, the Frank Kern audience converts, at a cost per sale of, say $1,000. And the, I don't know what the other one I said, was it Brendan Burchard? Brendan Burchard converts at $1,200 a sale, and Amy Porterfield converts at $500 a sale. So what you would do is you would want to scale the budgets up on those campaigns differently based on the cost per sale, even if they all converted. But what happens invariably is audiences that you think will convert sometimes don't convert within your KPIs. And so what you want to do is have it separated out at the ad set level so that you can know how to adjust the scaling of the campaign, the killing, the bidding, all those sort of things. Then the last level, the third tier, and this is where you'll test this, but generally, there's a lot to this, but we'll explain later. But this is the actual ads that run, okay? And so ultimately, what you do with these ads is you figure out which one converts best at first. And you run that ad for some period of time until the audience gets tired of that ad, and then you have to refresh it with a new ad and a new angle, so on and so forth. Now, I've had ads that have worked for 13 months, so they can work a long time, or they could burn out in a week. So it really depends. But at the ad level, you are putting in things like the text copy for the ad, the creative, the image or video for the ad, the headline. And choosing if you want it to run on Instagram or not, or choosing actually which page you're going to run it on Instagram if you have multiple pages and stuff like that. So also on the ad set level, that's where you choose a lot of you choose the budget, you choose where the ad will show, whether it's in the feed or on the sidebar or on Instagram or Messenger or Audience Network and all that stuff. And we'll go through all of that in other videos. So that's the general structure of how it works. The next thing, and this is like the most important part of this video, is naming conventions. And it doesn't matter what you use, as long as you're consistent and that you understand it, and that it's probably easily understood by anyone who comes into the account. Because what if you die, right? You don't want to just screw your clients if you die. So how we do it, and how I've sort of come to think about this, is at the campaign level, we talk about the funnel phase, or like the level you are in the funnel. And there's 3 levels, and I'm going to do another video on that, but it's top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, okay? And the reason that you want to do that first is because you really want to quickly be able to see, if you've got 20 campaigns running, you want to be able to see which ones are the ones, like you'll run bottom of funnel to the same audiences that you're running middle of funnel, but with just different exclusions sometimes, right? So you definitely want to have the funnel phase first. Then what we do next is the funnel type. And this is just something that we do internally, but like funnel type would mean AW here means auto webinar. It could be CS for case study. It could be ISS, one of the ads that we run called the Introvert Selling System, and other things like that. So the funnel type is the next thing. So it's top of funnel, auto webinar, and then the third thing is what you're choosing at the campaign level is the objective. So you might have multiple campaigns that are top of funnel, auto webinar. One could be PPE, which is page post engagement, and is like wanting to get likes, comments, and shares. It could be that it's conversion, like this, CONV, which is you actually are trying to convert people. So to be able to understand the difference in the campaigns, being able to break this down this way, we found very useful. Next is the ad set level. The naming conventions at ad set obviously start the same as the others. Or as the campaign level. So it starts off top of funnel, which is the funnel phase, auto webinar, which is the funnel type, conversion, which is the objective, and then we just add the audience. Okay. Now you can add more stuff if you need to. So like if you're going to break it down and have one ad for feed, one ad for Instagram, and one ad for say sidebar, then I would notate that here too. So it'd be lookalike purchasers 1% US dash feed. So you can add more, but I at least add the audience. Okay. And like this, let me explain what this is LAL lookalike purchasers. These are people that purchased the program in the past. So we've created what's called a lookalike audience of the purchasers. And and I'll explain that in another video on audiences. But 1% is like a type of lookalike, and US is the geography of where this lookalike is. And the reason this is important is we could have a lookalike 2%. We could also have a lookalike in Australia, et cetera, et cetera. So top of funnel, auto webinar, conversion, lookalike purchasers 1% US. So that is the ad set level. And then lastly, at the ad level, we do the same thing, and then we add the creative. And I find that the creative and the copy usually tie together. So you'll be able to know, like if anything, the copy usually stays the same and the creative changes or something like that. But you just need to know which ad this is. So top of funnel, auto webinar, conversion, lookalike purchasers 1% US, and then camel. Like I ran an ad for Taki that had a camel's hump in it. And so the camel was the thing how we, or it might have been hump. I can't remember if it was hump or camel, but but that's how we describe the creative. So if I see a list of, maybe 50 different ads that are running at any given time, like actual ads, I can understand just from that list what campaign we're in, what audience we're advertising to, and what the ad is about just from the name of it. And that is super valuable, especially as like there's many reasons that this is important. But one of the reasons that it's super important is if you're using a third-party reporting software like Report Garden or Slido or any of those things. A lot of times how you have to delineate what you're going to report on is by the naming conventions that you use. And so if you use bad naming conventions, those reporting softwares cannot pull your data right. So the more you do this correctly and the more you do it consistently, it's going to make your campaigns so much easier to understand, which becomes important over time, and also so much easier for someone else to come in and know what's going on if you start handing, like if you get to the point where you're big enough to hand it off to someone else. So trust me, decide naming conventions, and you can just use these if you want, certainly, and do that. So that is the campaign structure and naming convention video. And feel free to hit us in the group if you got any questions.